Good morning, everybody. It's time to discover crypto. It's Tuesday, October 10th. Wait, it's Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday.
It is
Easy.
Tuesday.
And I'm not going to say it the way LeBron says it because that's just obnoxious.
All right. Wait a minute. Is today not Wednesday?
No, it's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. Man, I'm way off. I'm way off, folks. I really honestly thought today was Wednesday. It is Tuesday, October 10th. I have to read the calendar, everybody. It's 10:33 a.m. We started 2 minutes late. It's 3 now. Morning, everybody, guys. We're going to talk about WorldCoin. We're going to talk about Bitcoin dominance, rise of the shrimps. Actually, we got some Bitcoin upgrades happening. Also, SBF, it's day 5 of the trial. Also, we have some RFK stuff, some U.S. bond stuff, and cryptodes. This NFT just had this insane pump. What's going on? Is there a little money laundering? Is there some washing going on here? And also some XRP news. And then we have the X Minute. We got Drew and Tim on the ones and twos. How are y'all doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. And as I said before the show, this doesn't take a shot at anyone, DZ. I'm just going to have a better day than anyone else.
Wow, you hear that? 8 billion other humans. He's coming for you.
Yeah.
He says he has the top spot. He's going to beat you. I don't care.
Challenge me.
You're getting married today? The birth of your first child? That is nothing.
Nothing compared to my day.
It's nothing compared to what Tim's feeling.
On this Taco Tuesday.
I really thought today was Wednesday. I'm still kind of like mentally reeling from that. I feel like what is it? Is it a SpongeBob meme, I think? Crab meme. So, all right, guys, make sure you go to Hit Merch. We got some pretty cool gear over there. Getting some of the new gear out. I still like that XRP merch. Looks pretty awesome. All right, let's get into the top story. Rogan had a little guest on there. They talked crypto. Maybe we're making a little long form over. We're going to break down all the best highlights from that and, kind of what does this mean when Sam says this? What does Joe mean when they say this? What are the larger implications? Well, let's see here. WorldCoin's Sam Altman tells Joe Rogan that the U.S. government is waging a war on crypto. He voices concerns, and what he says is the government's escalating attempts to regulate and control the cryptocurrency market, suggesting the government's actions are tantamount to waging war. He did speak about Bitcoin, Rogan. The real fascinating crypto to me is Bitcoin. To me, I mean, that's the one I think has the most likely possibility of becoming a universal viable currency. It's limited in the amount that there can be. People mine it with their own computers. That to me is very fascinating, and I love the fact that it's been implemented. So Joe Rogan sounded like a Bitcoiner. Do you think he's going to pull the RFK and buy his children Bitcoin?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he already has, probably.
Ooh.
Because this isn't his first comment on Bitcoin. He's talked about Bitcoin favorably before. It just keeps getting more and more and more favorable. And this one, again, is the biggest one. Him actually putting forth that he thinks it could be the solution to the monetary issues of the world and become a global currency. I disagree with him on it, but the fact that he's saying that to his millions and millions and millions of listeners, that's bullish for Bitcoin.
Very bullish for Bitcoin. I watch the Andreas Antonopoulos episode. He may have even been on twice. I don't know if I've seen both of them. Joe Rogan, overrated as a comedian.
Yeah.
Seen a stand-up in person. I'm not a big fan of
He's
his
not
comedy.
a good comedian, no.
Yeah.
He needs to stick to podcasts.
I watched a couple of his podcasts. This was 10 years, like when it first came out, him, Mark Maron were the only ones really doing podcasts. Then I took a break for years and got back in with the Elon episode. It's a good episode.
Well, and that's the other thing. His the podcasts he tries to get silly or funny they're not funny when he's funny. Like when he brings on comedians, those are funny. But when Joe Rogan tries to be funny, that's the podcast I don't really like. When he goes deep and gets into his deep thinking mentality and he has great conversations with guests, those are the best episodes. So Joe, just stick to that. Go deep, have great conversations, have great guests, and you're the king of
Naval
podcasts.
Ravikant, Mark Andreessen, there's some great guests. Or you could have Post Malone and him eating mushrooms for 4 hours. I'm more into the Naval,
but even
Mark Andreessen episode.
The most recent Post Malone podcast was great. And they went into deep categories. They talked a lot. They talked about Bitcoin. It was a great
I honestly only know Joe from Fear Factor.
That's
I had no
true.
idea he was a comedian. Me and the fiance watched a few episodes. It aged okay. All right, let's talk about, speaking of Elon and, well, where are they based off? San Francisco. Where did Joe Rogan leave? He left California. Well, San Francisco is like a failed state. Joe Rogan hammers the next level crime in the Golden Gate City, which is fast becoming a ghost town. Is he right? I think we have a couple Bay Area viewers. I know we definitely have some California viewers. Anybody been there lately? Let us know in the chat, what you think. What's your experience? He took a shot. He said it's a next level lawlessness and disorder. Nobody's stopping anybody from doing anything. It's crazy how quick San Francisco has declined. Everyone's pulling out of there. Hotels are pulling out. Chains like Walgreens are pulling out. 18-year-old DZ pulling. Everybody's pulling out, In a brazen example, this correspondent claimed to witness 3 thefts in 30 minutes while filming a report on the 24th at the Walgreens. News cameras captured at least one individual walking out without paying for any items. Many products at the store are kept under lock and key. Yeah, when you see a store and sticks of gum are under lock and key, that's a little bit much. I would say that's pretty close to a failed state, folks. All right, telling a comedian to stick to being informative, not funny, nah. All right. Only know. Fear Factor was a good show. They did some weird stuff, though.
Yeah, there's definitely some strange things. That's part of my childhood. Growing up, what it would come on every night not every night, but there was a certain night of the week,
maybe Fridays,
and every night my dad, my brother, and I would watch Fear Factor,
and then watch people eat ovaries or phallic shaped meats,
bull testicles.
To put it lightly, that was you're lucky if you got bull testicles.
Yeah, that was a good dish.
All right, I think it is time for us to look at the charts with Kelly, but I don't see Kelly. Kelly's wait, no, he was lurking. I wish we could have got that on camera. Kelly, what were you doing down there?
I was sitting down just watching some great stand-up comedy from Joe Rogan.
Oh, okay. You weren't sitting sideways like Paul Wall.
Yeah. No, but to credit Joe Rogan, for anybody that doesn't know, he became famous through being a comedian. And of course, he's put a lot of his attention and energy in other forms of entertainment. I still think he's a fairly funny guy. Maybe he's not everybody's cup of tea, but pretty funny. I also watch Tom Segura's podcast on a regular basis too. I don't know if you guys follow him.
I used to watch some news radio. That was a show he was on in the 90s with David Spade and Phil Hartman, I believe. But anyways, what are the charts telling? What are the charts telling? What are we looking at here? Are we looking at defense contractor stocks? Are they're way up? No, wait, no. We're looking at price of Bitcoin, right?
Well, we got to pay attention right now. Okay, I talk about this on the BitLab Daily Show every day. If you are only trading Bitcoin, that does not mean that's the only asset you look at to gain an edge. If you want to trade any asset in a productive manner, meaning you're going to be more profitable than taking losses, then one, you need to manage your risk. And two, an easy way to do that is to gain an edge through looking at the broader market. So let's go ahead and take a look here.
Yeah, I want to gain an edge, and then I want to gain an edge where I look like JRE at that fight where he's whoa. People were saying his commentating is real good. This is the level of joy I want to receive from these charts. So, are you going to navigate the future markets here for us?
Dude, I'll be your captain. Keep all your arms and legs inside the vehicle. You just got to make sure you keep your eyes out so you can land this safely. It doesn't matter what direction the price of an asset goes. It matters if you are in position or not. How do you make sure you're in the right position? It's by looking at these broader assets to understand what the risk narrative is. So are your arms and legs inside the vehicle, DZ?
Yes. I hear the clicking. Well, wait a minute. It's not locked. Just run it. We're just running anyways.
We'll get you a seatbelt extension, DZ. So here we can see right here, we got the Dixie, the dollar index has been pushing up. Now, of course, we had a bit of a sell-off back here, or I wouldn't call it a sell-off, but a retraction on price here, a little bit of a correction, August 31st. We've just been pushing up since, and we got a very similar, look at how this area right here sort of consolidated, pushed up, then broke down. Similarly, we had a little bit of a pump, pull off, pull out, and then another push up, and then another breakdown here. What we want to do when we're looking at this, why do we care about the dollar? We're getting into Bitcoin because we don't care about the dollar. Well, we're not yet at the spot where Bitcoin's truly broken away as a hedge against all things. And this is a great indicator of where the risk in the market is going right now. And we see it's coming out of dollars and it's going into other things. And so we're seeing NASDAQ has been acting very interestingly. We're getting lower highs, consecutive lower highs. We got a lower low right here, not only followed up by a previous lower low from the previous range breakdown, but now we got this W pattern pushing up. But the point I'm trying to make here is until we really break through this level and come back and test it with certainty, things are still looking relatively weak. We can't look at a pump over a few day time period. This is a 4-hour chart. So this is 3 days, 3-day pump into the zone. And what do we see with these candles? This for all assets, Bitcoin, the dollar index, Ethereum. When you're looking at candles on any asset, when they're shrinking in size in a trend, this means the momentum is starting to sort of falter. The narrative for the bulls is starting to weaken. So we want to pay attention to this, because if this does break out, that ultimately, break all this bearishness, this uncertainty that everybody's looking at, and the pressures on the market. So as it stands right now, we are pushing higher. The question is going to be, how does this follow through, or does the bullish momentum continue to wane? Now, when we look at Bitcoin dominance starting to push up. Now, where were you guys at, DZ and Tim? Where were you guys at on your debate about the dominance?
So he thinks it will hit 60% before we hit 69K or 70K.
60%. Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at this and see where we're at in relationship to that. 60% would be, man, that'd be all the way. That'd be high. That'd be all the way up right here. That's a pretty high level to get to, considering we also have this major downtrend resistance that is sitting above us. If we went straight up from here and hit it directly above us, that would be 55%. So in order to get 60%, that'd be a pretty big move, considering this is also the previous low. Now, why do we care about dominance? We care about dominance because this lets us know if in the crypto ecosystem, is more capital flowing in, is capital flowing into Bitcoin faster or into other assets? When this is rising, this means capital is either going into Bitcoin faster or not leaving it as fast in a downtrend. Because remember, this does not reflect, this reflects how strong Bitcoin relative to other crypto assets. And we have to ask ourselves, DZ, do you hold Bitcoin?
I've tried, but it keeps slipping through my fingers. Oh, well, I own some, like on a, yeah, I have some.
I was going to say, you got to practice better risk management if it's slipping through your fingers. No, but the point here is, if you're holding Bitcoin and you're holding altcoins, there's a lot of people out there. And I was one of those people for a long time, where we hold so many altcoins, or the one altcoin that we think this is the diamond in the rough. This is going to make me rich. If we're trying to make money in this space and we're not paying attention to what the capital flow is on Bitcoin, man, I've been sick for like 2 weeks. Then if Bitcoin is the safest, basically risk-adjusted asset in the crypto ecosystem, and we're seeing the dominance of Bitcoin go up, then it makes it a really hard proposition to be holding altcoins if they're not going to be performing as good as Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the lowest risk. So why would you be holding something else in certain parts of the market cycle, and considering where we're at right now, if Bitcoin is performing better and it has lower risk? So this is one of those things that helps you understand your capital flow. So I think we need to dive in. Before we go, we got to look at actually what the heck is Bitcoin doing today. Well, these are some levels that I've marked out, just, areas of interest. Now, everybody wants it to go up and away just because we pumped, was this about $1,000. Okay. Well, does that mean we're going up and away? Well, we have this level, previous range lows, that we haven't even attempted yet. Not only that, we have this basically this M pattern right here with a lower high, considering that right there. This is starting to show weakness. Now, there is one argument to be made that maybe this is a bit of a flag or something like that this could break out. But considering, looking at this on the daily, momentum's rolling over, stochastics angled to the downside, this orange line, RSI angled to the downside, a lot of bearishness here on the BitLab trend fuel, part of the BitLab trading stack. And if we come over here and turn on the BitLab volume, look at this. We've pushed up into this giant resistance order block that's right above us, and we're losing bullish momentum in this area. So if we do basically break down from the level that we're at right here and into this zone, these are the levels that I'm looking at below us, primarily the 26,834, because this is not only this previous high, previous low, it also marks the top of an area of interest below us. This order block, these green blocks are auto-populated here with the BitLab volume here, part of the BitLab trading stack. So if we do hold, wonderful. We have broken this up rising level, but maybe this is a liquidity grab into the zone. If we start to lose this level, then it starts to illustrate that bearish thesis that we've been talking about since the beginning of August, of coming down and tapping somewhere in the mid 24s to mid 23s. So as it stands right now, it's still quite a bit of a no trade zone, unless you have tight risk management, because things are so frustrating at the moment in terms of where things are at on price action. Same thing with XRP. We have, basically came down, broke a key level of support. We've tested it twice now, 3 times as resistance. We've broken back down, and bulls want it to go up, but the capital just isn't there right now, considering we also have geopolitical tensions, and we don't know how many different players are going to get involved and what that means. So as it stands right now, I think we're still perfectly in line with where we're at, considering the Bitcoin market cycles and where we would be in response to the halving. So last thing I want to show you is this spiral chart right here from the rational root. These green dots are where the halvings are. So somewhere in this zone, we're going to be getting the halving. But I just want you to pay attention. When do you see these dark dots again? These are all-time highs. You have quite a bit of separation between the halving and when the next all-time high is. So any analysts out there that's telling you we're going to hit all-time highs before Christmas, they're not looking at charts. They don't understand data. So what do you think, DZ? When do you think the next all-time high is going to be?
Oh man, so I'm definitely a 4-year guy. So the last all-time high, we basically set it right around December, January 2021, December 2020. So I mean, if you extrapolate, I would say 12 months from now, about 12 months from now, potentially we hit the 50s, 60s, maybe December.
Yeah, no, I think yeah, sometime mid 2024, I think we'll start getting a strong push out. Because remember, parabolas are not just immediately almost straight vertical. They start very slow. So that's why this time period right now, any sort of price action to the downside does not mark frustration unless you're out of position. It should mark opportunity. So if anybody wants to hear more about the charts and anything going on, tune in, BitLab Academy live stream right after this stream, 11:30. Tune in and we'll be breaking this down.
Sounds great, man. Kelly, always a great time. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. People like that, the jacket he was wearing. All right, we got a couple chats. Hey, Blood, what's going on? What up, gangsta? Let's see. Bob from accounting. Hey, I loved Attack of the Show right when Kevin was hosting. Kevin, Olivia, it was a peak content coming out of G4. Probably didn't watch G4, right?
Not at all. Not one bit.
No G4 there. All right. Yeah, guys, make sure you hit the like button. I think we're about 17 away from 100. Let's go ahead, hit that. Let's hit that, baby. So smash the likes. Thank you, Alexandra. All right, let's get right into Bitcoin. What is happening with the price here? Bitcoin hovers over 27.5. Crypto bulls face $100 million in liquidations as altcoin drops. The conflict in the Middle East is impacting prices of riskier assets. And a significant Ether sale by the ETH Foundation weighed in as bulls saw $100 million just evaporate as the market slid 2% on average. Technically, Bitcoin remains in an uptrend, but ran into resistance as 200-day moving average over the weekend. All eyes will be on Bitcoin's price to see if it can successfully consolidate above 28, the 200-day moving average. If it does, we can expect a quick rise to as much as 29.5. So yeah, we're just kind of hanging around these June, July 2021 levels. Probably going to hang out here for a little bit longer. I think we are going to go a little bit sideways for a while. Sorry, blue punk rocker. We're not going to go to 80K in 2 weeks. I know you're banking on it. You have that long set, that 50X, but I'm just sorry. It's probably not going to happen in 2 weeks. Maybe 70 weeks. I would say maybe 70 weeks. Maybe 65. All right, that's as low as I would go, though. Let's see, catch them all. I don't believe in an altcoin cycle is possible anymore. We didn't have as many altcoins before. There's more market cap to share. Now we have way more coins to spread market cap. That is an issue, especially all the L2s, all the L1s. Every year, there's just more competition. So things are getting divided out, more and more protocols and more VC-backed projects. All right, let's talk about the shrimps and the crabs. No, we're not talking about seafood, folks. We're talking about people who hold a whole lot of Bitcoin here. Small-scale Bitcoin owners increase here. So I say small. To me, it's still pretty large, right? Because these crypto creatures own less than 1 and 10 Bitcoin, respectively. So the shrimp, you got less than 1. The crabs, you got less than 10, but I think more
what
than
does
1.
less than 1 and 10 Bitcoin mean? Meaning,
So the shrimps
mean
are less than 1. The shrimps are less than 1. The crabs are less than 10.
Okay, gotcha.
Respectively.
1 to 10 is a crab.
I believe so. I believe so. Unless there's something between shrimps and crabs, but I don't think there's anything between crabs except pubes, right?
That's true.
Oh, why did I go there? Why did I even say it? I'm sorry, Chad.
felt
I'm sorry.
so
Let's
right.
look. You guys came here for some crypto content, and then I just take a sharp left turn like that. I apologize.
We're moving
Apologize.
on.
Let's get back to the story here. This trend could indicate. You brought up crabs, Tim. This trend could indicate a broader
blame me for that.
decentralization of Bitcoin ownership, showing that even smaller players are steadily accumulating Bitcoin. It serves as an important reminder of the democratic potential of blockchain technology, democratizing potential of blockchain technology, even as markets ebb and flow. All right, what chart are we looking at here? So they got a lot of things. Crab supply dominance percentage is going to be this orange line right here.
Nice.
I like how they just have all the things that are striked out instead of just showing us this, and this. Let's show you 21
Let's show you
different,
what we're not showing you.
Yeah, let's show you what the 18 things we're not showing you. We're going to go ahead and show you that.
I want to tell you about them, but not show you.
The black line, obviously, Bitcoin price. And then here we have the shrimp supply in the red line right there. So we're missing one, which is the purple line. OJ purple stub, exchange supply dominance here. So exchanges have been on the decline. We've been reporting on this. You just see this number going lower.
Purple's
and lower
exchange holding.
Yeah, exchange percentage supply there.
Okay.
So and then all right. So small entities, we're on the way up.
Yeah.
Is it becoming more equitable? Maybe, or a little decentralized here. Plankton, less than a quarter. Crabs in your beard. Now that would be uncomfortable. Someone probably had a good time from that. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, let's see here. All right, so Bitcoin also has this huge upgrade. A lot of people are talking about, watch out, Ethereum. Bitcoin's coming for you, is what the Bitcoin maxis want you to believe. What's actually happening here is the BitVM. Ethereum virtual machine is the EVM. Now we have the BitVM, the Bit virtual machine. This proposal brings Ethereum style contracts to Bitcoin. So Robin Linus has introduced this approach to enable arbitrary computation on Bitcoin through the BitVM without needing a soft fork. Technically, it shares similarities with the optimistic rollups and utilizing fraud proofs and challenge response protocol, and employs a prover, basically some tech speak. It's optimizing some of this optimistic rollup stuff. But what are the Bitcoiners saying here? They're saying venture capital firm Paradigm Researcher pointed out a limitation that it can't be used in rollups or any other multi-party applications because it only works for two parties. Meanwhile, an ETH enthusiast said, Bitcoiners are excited that some very clever folks seem to have figured out how to verify a ZK proof on Bitcoin, but their method is extremely impractical and makes Lightning look cheap and smooth in comparison. So they had to throw out the little lightning shot too. I don't see Bitcoin competing with Ethereum ever. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
No.
You imagine people don't want to waste Bitcoin in a gas fee versus wasting Ethereum in a gas fee. One feels a little bit different than the other. Someone's saying that's an awkward. Yeah, that would be an awkward Thanksgiving. We will still get alts that moon, but as far as altcoin cycle, we have more of a chance of the game reuniting with G-Unit. Sorry, Lloyd Banks. It's not going to happen.
Comparing them is kind of similar to saying that a saw will never hammer a nail as well as a hammer. That's not Bitcoin's purpose to do that. Let Bitcoin be a store of value, stick to the monetary stuff. Let Ethereum handle smart contracts and other big issues when it comes to information like that. Bitcoin's a store of value. Like a saw cuts wood, it doesn't hammer a nail. Bitcoin, stick to what you're here for.
Yeah, a lot of times you have protocols that they just kind of change. They'll switch lanes, they'll switch gears, so they'll take an off ramp. The example I use, and it's nothing against the community, it's just it shows you that sometimes projects pivot. I'm going to talk about this big logistics chain. It was this big Asian logistics play, and their whole thing was going to be like, think of what Amazon has done to packaging. This chain is going to do that for logistics, guys, and it's called V-Chain. And then you fast forward 3 years, and it's like, well, no, now we want to do this. We want to have NFTs. We want to have DEXs. And it's like, well, what happened? What happened to logistics? And like, you know what? You don't even hear about it anymore. But that's, hey, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It's just kind of what's really happening in the markets here. All right, let's talk about Fidelity. What is Fidelity talking about Bitcoin here? Praises Bitcoin as the world's most secure and decentralized digital currency as it awaits ETF approval from SEC. So it's a subsidiary of investment fund manager Fidelity Investments, and they have a lengthy post on its blog praising Bitcoin. So essentially, you have the powers that be. This is the signal that the switches are going to start happening. You're going to start seeing more and more positive news Does that mean they have accumulated enough? Probably not. I don't think everyone's going to be in lockstep. So you might still get Larry Fink with some like vague, like, it's kind of good, kind of bad. But meanwhile, Fidelity, they've just hit the green light. They've hit the green light. They're signaling to their investors, hey, this is a good thing. You're going to want it. Get in while the getting's good. Where are we at right now? 27?
27. We're below 27,400 now. We're right at 27,400. You know, DZ, the thing, though, that people need to remember about how Fidelity, BlackRock, when you hear these institutions talk about crypto, you have to assume that they're lying to you in some way about something. They're not lying about the quality of Bitcoin. Them filing for spot ETFs means that they agree with their statement that Bitcoin is the future. But the timing of this coming out, DZ, I don't know where you sit on your views of how manipulation works, but I heavily believe, and this is the teachings of Wyckoff, the composite man, this is the timing that they say something this bullish, talking about a future event that will be bullish, but trying to convince retail investors to buy now when they really want to dip price so that they can buy more supply for those spot ETFs. To me, this is a bearish short-term headline. When I see Fidelity saying, oh, Bitcoin looks amazing, implying you need to go get some right now. To me, that's communicating, hey, guys, we have a lot of Bitcoin for sale. Come buy our bag so we can short the price and then gather more supply at a lower level.
Okay, good point. And yeah, but they could also have a like a timeline, right? We got to pump it for X amount of days to reach this peak zenith price. 6 weeks from now, then we start dumping, or hey, maybe they're just dumping on the way out, right? Ladder out, ladder
historically, that's just not how they talk. Historically, these institutions do not talk positively about an asset they want to go up in price. They talk negatively about it so that people sell, and then they have more money. So when they buy, they can make more returns on that and then liquidate all those shorts. So then they make a lot of money. In this case, they want to short it. They want to sell. They want to get the price down. So if they can get all the retail investors, or what they would consider dumb money investors, to enter longs, they can then suppress the price, get all the liquidation, suppress the price to a lower level, and then they gobble that supply and get a lot of Bitcoin for their ETFs at a cheap price.
All right. A lot of people got strong G Unit opinions. I know all of this is not meaning anything to you. Lloyd Bank's underrated. Crypto Kiss is underrated. If I say G Unit, does that ring a bell?
It does not.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a classic. All right, stick around for the show. I'll get one more G Unit in. It's going to be an epic one. It's going to be up there with the Ric Flair woos. Okay, it's going to be up there. Bit cynical. We can't help it at this point. All right. Speaking of cynicism, let's talk about Robert Kennedy Jr. He launches a third-party bid, draws ire of siblings, Republican Party. A Democrat in independence clothing is still a Democrat. Yeah, he has like two sisters that just they don't get along. All right. Trump and Biden have dominated the polls and headlines for this highly anticipated race. Once predicted to be a two-man race, now it could be a three-man race, with RFK announcing his change to a third-party candidate. E40's overrated, folks. Declaring the Democratic Party corrupt and being upset that he could not face off against Biden in debates, he announced he will run as a third-party candidate for the next election instead. Could take away votes from both Trump and Biden, with him polling well with GOP and also running as a Democrat previously and getting a portion of voter support. Drew criticism from several people associated with him, with the parties questioning who stands to lose more votes. He might share the same name as our father, but he's not share the same values, vision, or judgment. Today's announcement is deeply saddening for us. We denounce his candidacy and believe it to be perilous for the country, said Rory, Carrie, Joseph, and Kathleen. I know Kathleen is loves Pfizer. Kathleen loves Pfizer so much. Rob Reiner, who's been accused of being has very close links to former CIA directors. Have you seen that angle, Drew?
I've heard of it. I haven't really dug into it.
Yeah, they're all together in this big think tank. They're in a think tank. There's 4 former CIA directors. And guess who else is in there? Rob Reiner. Him and Stephen King. Once you look at that, their Twitter makes a whole lot more sense. Oh, it's just advertising. It's not, wow, people really think like that? Oh, no, it's more like it reads like an ad. Bobby Kennedy Jr.'s announcement to run as an independent is a dangerous and cynical move by wealthy Republicans to put Trump back in the White House. Reiner seethed. He also said he talked to Kennedy and told him this move could destroy American democracy. He didn't care. He knows Cheryl Hines, who served as his assistant previously. Hines has been married to Kennedy since 14. The RNC issued a statement Monday that the move could hurt the election, as shared by the Washington Post. A statement called Kennedy just another radical far-left Democrat. Make no mistake, a Democrat in independence clothing is still a Democrat, said Ronna McDaniel. He is your typical elitist liberal, and voters won't be fooled. Yeah, I hate those his elitist views like clean water. Yeah. God, that really pisses me off when he wants us to have clean water. When he says he wants to protect the parks, I say, screw the badger, screw that beaver. That's what I say. When he says, I want to buy my children Bitcoin because I feel like we're inflating the value of the dollar to nothing, I say, you idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. And God, it just makes me so upset, those three specific angles, that he's chosen to take here. All right, keep going here. Third-party candidates have not had much success in recent years. To qualify, he would have to get 15% support in national polls. Highlights 14 support he's received in several national election polls. So it looks like he might be getting close. Trump and DeSantis are going to be previously supported his campaign when he's running as a Democrat. It'll be interesting to see what new comments come if he runs as an independent. Ross Perot. Can I finish? Can I finish? That was my Ross Perot, folks. That was for the some odd percent who's like 50 years or older here. Ross Perot is the last third-party candidate to be a major challenger. He received almost 20% in 1992, an election in which he was qualified for the debate. Some say it's reason George didn't win, is the reason that Bill won. He also got 8.4% of the 96 election here, and it's believed he made, well, that one, 96 was Bill Clinton versus Bob Dole. Bob Dole had 0% chance. I think he won 3-5 states, something like that. So, yeah, it's going to be... What are your thoughts, Drew, on RFK going independent? This is a question I asked on ATB last night. I highly recommend you guys check it out. Who will he take more votes from? Will he take more from the Democrat side or more from the Republican side?
Ooh, I think he's going to take more from the Democrats if RFK goes independent. I think there was a good contingent of Democrats that were hopeful to vote for him, kind of more of a middle ground, trying to reach out to the Republican side. So I think it'll water down the Democratic votes, but I mean, they've done a good enough job on their own of watering down their own votes as well.
It's definitely going to be interesting because he probably fits the bill for both of the the Democrats who are like anyone but Joe, but they also hate Trump, or the people who are like anyone but Trump, but they also hate Joe Biden. So he's that nice middle ground. Yeah. I mean, Drew, I mean, it's interesting that you think that it's going to take more from the Democrats. My initial response was I thought it would take more from the Republicans. It's going to take a lot of both.
I think his gun rights, his gun issues, views will not.
That's why.
Yeah. I think that's why there won't be that
maybe. But then you have the vaccine thing that he's so anti-vaccine.
That's true. If we get a very pro-vaccine Republican in, that's right. That math will change.
So he is a true down the middle. Like, yes, I know he's a registered Democrat, but like when you really look at how he's responded to things. He's his own class. He's not a far the article that says he's a far left Democrat. I don't know what their far left.
How do you describe the Biden administration repeatedly denying his Secret Service requests? What would you categorize that as? Is that attempted murder?
I don't know about attempted murder, but it's absolutely
feels close. Right?
It's a hatred. It's them taking any precedence they can to harm him. I guess
it feels like it should be illegal.
Yeah,
it feels illegal,
especially when your last name is Kennedy. I feel like if you have the last name Kennedy, you should always have.
Yeah, it's like you say, well, people shouldn't get preferential treatment. Well, that guy
wasn't there also wasn't there an attempt on his life that they caught?
Well, we don't know. That guy could have been a crazy fan. I don't know.
If someone's a crazed fan, then if someone's a crazed anything, life's in danger.
Ross had the debate where he brought out a whiteboard. He actually paid for 30 minutes, maybe it was an hour of national airtime. Back when most people watched the 4 channels, back then it was the 3 plus Fox, and he bought, I believe, an hour of airtime, prime time, like 7-8 p.m. And then just ran over how the economy is in shambles and how we're running out of deficit and how he's going to plan on basically giving us a surplus. And I think that was a large part of what drove Bill Clinton's surplus initiatives there. So, all right, Wu-Tang is better than G-Unit. All right, let me just go ahead and say that. Wu-Tang is better. All right, they ain't nothing to mess with. I do know that. And I heard they have a good investment thesis, too. All right, listen.
That was such a good
You got to diversify your bonds. Anyways, let's talk about bonds here. Smash the like, if you get the reference there. All right, guys, I didn't even plan that segue there. U.S. bonds, got to diversify them. Crater, as Bloomberg crypto analyst, says bullish signal is popping off for Bitcoin. Here's his forecast. It's flashing an unexpected bullish signal as U.S. long bonds continue their collapse. So last week, the yields on the 30-year treasuries went above the 5% mark for the first time since 2007. U.S. long bonds are in their greatest bear market of all time. But he says the king crypto is only one resistance away from igniting a new bull run cycle in defiance of the macro bear drop here. So he's saying it's the 31K level. Once we get past that, we turn that resistance into support. We shed the lows of June and July 2021. We never look back. We never go below 30 again, maybe until 3, 4, 5 years from now. So that's his prediction there. I recently said that in the face of US dollar debasement, Bitcoin has been a better performer than bonds, and predicted that more investors would end up shifting capital from bond portfolios into Bitcoin in the future there. So as bonds get worse, maybe some of these people, instead of buying bonds, buy some Bitcoin. I can see that.
Absolutely. And then when you're looking at the future, and more than likely what our 2024 looks like is printing of money plus a lowering of interest rates, the Dixie chart might be climbing right now, as Kelly pointed out, and maybe has a little ways to go to the upside still. But in 2024, I'm predicting a lot of red candles.
All right, Bob from accounting, he's looking at diversified portfolios. He's laughing. You just made me laugh out loud at work, and I work in an office of butt-tight people.
Shout out to ODB.
I just opened this video, and the first thing I hear is, screw that beaver. I'm guessing the bull run has started. No, we were talking about the polycule back then.
Yeah, it was a great take you had, but I don't think anyone heard anything but the phrase, screw that beaver.
All right, even Biggie said Wu-Tang suck. All right, Jizza and RZA. All right, Jizza, look, that isn't anything to do with the previous topic, what we're talking about. Good rappers, I don't care what you say. Ghostface, Killer, Supreme Clientele, top 10 album. All right, let's see. SEC Grayscale Bitcoin ETF appeal window closes on Friday. What analysts expect. As this deadline looms, the community's abuzz with speculation, predictions, and hopes for what the outcome might entail for the larger digital cryptocurrency ecosystem here. Let's see. Seifert, we've talked about this person, and Kalchunas, I believe. They're the Bloomberg ETF experts. They agree, Wilson, saying that U.S. authority cannot drag out the decision forever. Agreed. At some point, someone's going to have to say the SEC is going to issue an order by this deadline, 45, 60, 90 days, etc. So time's ticking. Time is ticking. There's only so many times they can kick the can down the road there. Let's see. Dirt McGirt. Old Dirty Bastard. Take it or leave it, right? I mean, he's got a good song. Anyways, all right, let's talk about Gary Wang, Caroline Ellison. It's time to talk about where'd that come from?
What?
Where did that come from?
That was a good one.
That was a good one. All right,
Mrs.
we need to start
Claus.
doing that more. I like that. I was not expecting that, Chad. All of a sudden, there's a giant TV.
Can you go back to it?
There's a giant TV below the camera.
For good
And I'm
measure.
reading. I'm trying to do my.
That has got to be some of the world's longest teeth.
Yeah,
go
look at
go
that.
back again.
Hey, we don't want to look shame here,
What?
okay?
No, I mean, it's
we wanna
AI, isn't it?
shame
I'm assuming
her.
that's
It's
AI.
for doing a
Like,
bad
no,
job.
no offense to Caroline. I
Oh,
don't think
okay,
she has
okay.
teeth that long. This is AI. But I knew AI struggled with fingers, but now it looks like AI struggling
Otherwise,
with teeth.
Sam would be like, stop scraping. All right, let's talk about Gary Wang, Caroline Ellison, looking at day 5 of Sam Bankman-Fried's trial. He's going to complete his testimony. What's wrong with me? He's going to complete his testimony today, and Caroline Ellison will begin presenting her view. All right, this is where the bombshells are going to come, folks. I think the Caroline stuff, that's what people are waiting for. That's where the salacious details are going to come out. That's where, 2 years from now, we got Jonah Hill playing him. He's skinny now. This is going to be some of the courtroom scenes that they're going to be replaying, y'all. All right, FTX co-founder and former CTO Gary Wang began testifying in earnest last Friday in the trial. Wang revealed the insurance fund was calculated by volume of trades and multiplying that by a random number around 7,500. Customer balances were approximately equal to what was in the company's hot wallet, except there's no sub-account with a balance around minus 8 billion. That was excluded. In hindsight, we knew this, but they were tweeting that everything is fully liquid and funded after the CoinDesk article came out. Well, later on Tuesday, Ellison is expected to take the stand. So she's expected to take the stand today. The defense is similarly likely to try and discredit her as a witness whether by saying she did not heed the warnings to hedge positions or by arguing her recollections or actions may have been impaired. For their part, prosecutors say she can share information about the crime she committed. And as a reminder, they pled guilty to conspiracy charges last year, shortly after Sam was arrested. So it's going to be interesting watching this. Department of Justice also named Zach Prince and Alan Deacle as possible witnesses. So won't be a strict timeline for when they testify. They may follow Ellison. So we might get Caroline plus a couple other people. Might just be Caroline leading into tomorrow. I don't know what kind of bombshells are going to come out of that, but I feel like they're probably going to try to keep the personal relationships away. I don't think prosecution or the defense wants to bring that up.
No, but I do think she's going to have every incentive for everything she does know to wield it against him after releasing the diary stuff. So I think it could be very interesting what Caroline has to say.
Steve, hey, you're here, so stick around and we'll turn you to a believer. Jim Jones, Cameron, Jules Santana. That was a good period. That was a good period too. Time keeps on ticking into the future for Sam's trial. How's this going to end, folks? He's got to be guilty, right? If he's innocent, I'm assuming it's corruption. I'm assuming a bot judge if he's innocent.
Oh, goodness.
All right. CMG, it is always a good time. We're always having fun. Caroline Outcast warned her about us and roses. Dang it, he is right. Caroline. It was there. It was all there.
What's the rest of the lyrics?
Something mighty fine. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. Great album. Speaker box, love below. All right. SBF's Alameda. It gets worse, folks. They minted $38 billion in Tether here to profit off arbitrage trading. According to Coinbase's director here, Connor Grogan, he flagged some on-chain data that highlights massive mints ordered by Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda Research, indicated that they redeemed over $38 billion for Tether tokens of 21, despite not having the equivalent assets under management. They're responsible for minting 47% of what would be the supply today. Estimated the number around 36.7. I was able to update with additional wallets. Total USDT creation was higher than their total assets on its books at the height of the cryptocurrency market bull run. Also suggests that they ordered redemptions were likely to have been from Alameda's tokens, totaling 4 billion USDT. The majority of the redemption was carried out during the collapse of Terra's algorithmic stablecoin. By the way, to connect some dots, a lot of the people seeking access to a coin like USDT aren't doing so via creation, often doing so just sort of buying it in the markets, and they're buying a lot, really aggressively. Keep scrolling. Trabuco added that Alameda was able to safely put on big bets due to its ability to do USDT creations and redemptions when it needed to. The former Alameda CEO described it as a win-win situation for the trading firm and the stability of the dollar peg. So here's the SBF tweet from January 12th, 2021. Now, what an innocent time it was back then. 2021. This was the same month as the Tesla announcement.
Yeah.
Very bullish.
Yeah.
Very, very bullish. All right. It's sort of funny. All right. So, Sam, by the way, a lot of people seeking access to a coin aren't doing so via creation. They're just sort of buying it. Sort of funny hearing people claim that you can't redeem USDT for money. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You can, and like, we do, bro. Cointelegraph has reached out to Tether to confirm the amount that was minted at the request of Alameda. I would want to look into this. They didn't do 40 billion at once, and they're saying, oh my God, it's 40 billion. It's more than they ever had. Well, what if they did 4 billion 10 different times and they had more than 4 billion? And so maybe it's part of the operation. Is there shadiness? Yes. I just don't want to jump to a conclusion like, oh, the whole thing was a scam. They didn't have 40 billion. They could have had the assets under management, just not 40 billion total at any one time.
You know, I'm looking at these lyrics, DZ.
Oh, God.
This is pretty spot on. Every morning, where's she going? She wakes you up. She'll never give you that green light. She'll never get enough.
Show them up on the screen.
She'll take your money. She got the one-stop certified juice.
Whoa!
Later
she's
on,
talking about, look, he was a vegetarian and she made him fruit smoothies.
And then here, let's see, where was it? Pull me back down. Okay, let's see what else. See, there was another line that definitely was very relevant to this whole situation.
Line. What kind of finish line?
Exactly. Where's
leads you to the finish line? Go up. It's at the top right there.
Oh, yeah. She'll never lead you to the finish line. The type to leave you home for dinner time, and she knows that she's your favorite kind.
Caroline.
Oh, man.
Did SBF write this song?
Maybe. Keep
in
me running.
a time that he go back in time.
Yeah. Now you keep me running, keep me coming for you.
Yeah.
Ow, the teeth. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm just saying the lyrics are kind of spot on to the situation.
I'll say this. I wouldn't sit on any of those beanbag chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
You catch something new.
Why is it squishy?
Yep.
Why can you wring it out like an old washcloth?
Ugh.
And what's coming out of it? It's
Oh.
just curly haired.
There we go.
All right. Let's talk about Binance here. Guys, we're having a good time here. Andre 3000 is goated. Thanks for explaining. Mike Bennett, I'm glad to break it down for you. Thanks, Tim, for reading the lyrics there.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was needed. It was very relevant.
Are they going to start charging you to charge your Tesla at the gas station? Would that defeat the purpose of having it? The making of the battery is very damaging to the environment. Well, I don't know if anyone's doing the math on, I don't think we know the finite number. What is the average life cycle of a Tesla? Have we arrived at that number yet?
I don't know.
think the car company has existed long enough for us to have clean data where 30 years of, what if you live where it's nuclear power?
Yeah.
So what would be offset by that battery versus 40 years of gasoline extraction?
The infrastructure.
It's just a fair conversation that people don't really have.
The infrastructure.
I don't know what this source is. Design life cycle. Whatever it says, 10 years.
Yeah, but there's also there's a lot of startups that are recycling the batteries. And so this might be an issue that is no longer anything that people are concerned about 30 years from now.
Yeah.
As we have so many out there, we just 90% comes from recycling and 10% is from raw earth extraction.
I think it goes farther because it says after 10 years, it's down 82.5% of the original capacity, but that means there's something left. But yeah, maybe Teslas aren't made to last that long.
Who knows? Who knows? All right, let's talk about Binance here. A little aside there for you. All right, Binance's $1 billion crypto recovery fund deployed less than $30 million, according to Bloomberg. This is the industry recovery initiative. Despite big name backers, the sector continued to struggle for investment. So in the wake of it, they're now otherwise strong, good, looking great, but then faced liquidity crisis. Deployed less than 30 million so far. Allocated approximately $1 billion in its BUSD stablecoin to the initiative itself. Let's see, Polygon added some more. So there's a lot of big Aptos has added, fully invested in the pledge fund. So a lot of people pledging a lot of money. Binance even moved nearly $1 billion of its fund it committed to the initiative back to its corporate treasury for other investments. Moving it back. The sole public investment was a $15 million stake in a crypto exchange. The original address for the initiative shows 2 outgoing transfers, one of 15 million, one of 985 million after they added the billion to the address. Currently displays a balance of about 1,500 in Ether and other tokens. A lot of times the other tokens is just people, once that address is public, they'll send their meme coins there.
Yeah.
And then so when people look at it, like, oh, well, this Binance wallet has baby Elon Marge Floki news, and they're like, oh, maybe, they're bullish on it.
Big things coming.
Ralphie, it takes 7 years for an electric car to surpass the efficiency of a diesel car.
But Paul says he's wrong.
According to one study.
Yeah.
Funded by whom?
I think we should have a
I'm
full-on...
not trying to be cynical, but who funded that?
Full-on debate between Ralphie and Paul.
No, there's something being left out here. Their infrastructure isn't there for this electrical transmission. And also, parking garages cannot carry the weight of electric charging stations. Our infrastructure needs to be overhauled for this idea to work.
Is that a blanket statement across all American communities?
Pretty much.
That doesn't sound accurate to me.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm from a former...
Manhattan, like all the big cities, their parking garages are not rated correctly. This is...
Oh, yeah, parking garages. But no one's built a parking garage with Teslas in mind, except for maybe the past 5 years. Maybe there's some Ford people smart thinking 10 years ago. But yeah, if you look, it's going to cost you $1 million to build it this way, or $1.2 million to build it that way. More than likely, you're going to choose $1 million. I mean, what if it's just a home-based system?
That's more reasonable. And there's a silver lining here is because, like what we've seen in Georgia, the electrical infrastructure has been upgraded for Bitcoin mining. That gives a financial incentive to upgrade that infrastructure. And then you get the result that you can transmit all the power you need for your Teslas.
Bob brings up a good question. Why are we guys even asking how long a Tesla will last? 2030? No one will have a car. You'll own nothing. And you'll be happy. And you will eat the bugs. So what are we even talking about here, right?
It's no big deal.
That being said, I want to buy a Tesla Cybertruck, and I don't think we're covering it today. They found Doge code in the Cybertruck order page.
What?
Yeah. So hey, little something there. Maybe we'll do it on ATB. Could be a fun little combo there, I think. All right. Trader Joe's sued somebody, folks. They sued Joe the Millionaire from the reality TV show. No, wait a minute. No, they sued a Joe, but it wasn't that. No, it was the big guy.
They trade the guy that trades, Joe that trades. They sued him.
Oh, Joe. Oh, the trading decks. Oh, okay. American supermarket chain Trader Joe's sues decks of the same name. They're pursuing legal action in California to resolve a trademark dispute with a crypto platform that bears a strikingly similar name. The name, Trader Joe. So yeah, I would say it's a little bit close. Trader Joe XYZ.com. It's an Avalanche Dex. In the lawsuit, Trader Joe's contests their use of the name and deemed confusingly similar. I would say, yeah. All right, come on. You knew that was going to happen.
Have you ever tried to park at a Trader Joe's?
Wilmington, North Carolina, 10 years ago. Yeah, it was kind of difficult then, but it was in a weird intersection.
It's like they purposely designed the parking lot to like trap you in there and like get you in a fender bender so then you might buy something else. That's just
you're waiting for the cops to take the police report, so then you got to buy like a 20-ounce drink.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Maybe get some cookie butter while you're waiting, you know?
I have my theories that the EV market is made only to dismantle the legacy market, not meant to succeed. Well, I will say this. If you read that Elon Musk biography, Tesla was not meant to succeed. It existed and succeeded by sheer force of will and spinning. We'll make money eventually, and just did it long enough. And also Leo DiCaprio, not really in the book, but I remember him being a huge part of Tesla early. Yeah. I think the goodwill. Leo was, look, guys, it was a different time post Titanic. That guy had so much goodwill before he was seen as a creep. Before he kept dating the same age. When he was 25, it was fine. 27, 30. Okay, now he's like 40. He looks a little weird.
Yeah.
He's 45 probably. So, Tesla, big shout out to Leo making that happen. All right, let's talk about this NFT that sold, and it looks shady. It looks like some sort of wash trading. It looks like some sort of embezzlement happening. Why did it sell for millions, folks, when it's only worth $1,000? Cryptodes NFT sold for $1.6 million in Ethereum linked to Tornado Cash. Some are calling it a fat finger mistake or obvious money laundering. This purchase has sparked some fierce speculation. Wasn't all that surprising, seeing that it was popping back then, everything was popping. But as today's 1.6 million purchase is raising some red flags thanks to a connection to Tornado Cash. It was purchased for 1,055 wrapped Ethereum, or more than 1.6 million. They also paid the fees on that, $42,000 just in fees. Because there's like a little sales tax on there essentially, or like a little creator royalty. Meanwhile, cryptodes, they're starting at $800, folks. It wasn't even like they got some crazy rare one. So NFT Stats is a great account to follow. He's always putting out great stuff. I know it's a pink-haired woman, but he's always putting out great content. Oh, geez, this doesn't look good. Cryptodes NFT sells for $1.6 million. There were $41,000 in fees paid to OpenSea. The floor price, half an ETH. Purchasing wallet was funded by a wallet that's been pulling money out of Tornado Cash. Initially, pointers, they thought it was a fat finger mistake, but then they started seeing where the funds came from. Today, recently funded from another wallet, and that wallet received $1.9 million from Tornado Cash in September. So we're not even talking about that long ago. So what's your gut say here?
Yeah. Wouldn't it suck if it was an innocent mistake and the dude's going to not only have lost a lot of money, he also is going to get arrested for what obviously looks like laundering. But I would vote laundering. This definitely is a laundering move, but that would be tragic if it wasn't.
I can see it as someone who has zero plans to spend that money. Like maybe they gave up on spending this Tornado Cash ETH. Or maybe they have more that they want to spend and they're just like, I think this one NFT project's funny. I'm just going to pump it and this ought to be funny.
No matter what it is, I can tell you I'm having a better day than this guy.
Yeah. I don't know if it's Universal, Arizona Park and Space Trader shows.
I'm telling you,
very small.
Gainesville, Florida is not bad. That's why I that's the only one I've ever been to, and it's in like a shopping plaza, so it shares a parking lot with a bunch of other stores, so it's not bad.
All right, there is no silver lining unless you involve Sandra Bullock. Well, no, it's Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, got that one wrong. Good try though.
It reminds people used to buy Model Ts just to use the engine for factory things like printing press and other. I can see that. Yeah, I mean, there weren't really mass-produced things, so it was probably a lot cheaper buying a Model T engine, and you could take away the tires, take away the non-existent windshield, take away some things, and still end up with this gas-powered engine that's cheaper than maybe elsewhere. Leonardo was with Logan Paul's fiance first.
Oof.
I don't even know if that's true, but
There's pictures, so
really. Danny,
supposedly.
Danny Dylan Dennis or whatever it is.
like that. Yeah, I haven't really been following any of that stuff.
I don't know why the algorithm just consistently feeds me that post from that guy.
All right. Well, speaking of tornado cash, reigns supreme on Ethereum. Despite the shadow of sanctions and a significant drop in assets, it's still the leading crypto mixer. Is seeing a resilient comeback. Let's see, 77 million in assets passed through them in just the last month. At its height, it managed more than 700 million of ETH. So it's down 90%, but still look like it's still moving some funds here. At present, sits at 187 million, according to Arkham here. So according to US Today, US Treasury sanctioned them, accusing it of enabling laundered funds linked to North Korea. Despite claims of being a tool for preserving privacy, Treasury alleged, hey, no, you're facilitating illicit transactions, including $500 million stolen by Lazarus. The developers were charged with aiding and laundering over $1 billion, with Storm being arrested. Free Roman Simonov, and free Roman Storm. They didn't do anything wrong. Code is free speech, in my opinion, but not every country has free speech. So in America, we have a little bit more free speech than most. So I don't know what kind of laws. I think they was arrested in the Netherlands. I don't know what the Netherlands free speech laws are like. Even in the UK and Germany, they have some pretty stringent laws. You got to be careful. Hey, even in America, we have some laws on free speech. So can't say anything all the time. You can't, there's a lot of things you can't do. I'm looking forward to home heaters that mine crypto. Makes total sense. Mine crypto, create house heating at the same time. When can I get that? Ask Nick, hey, you just have them heating up your home already. It's just going to be loud.
Yeah, they have them already. We should put a link. We should do a cover.
It's just, it's going to sound like, it sounds like someone's got the vacuum on 24/7. So, all right. So we're at ETH lows already. Cyber criminals use DEXs and crypto cross-chain services to launder $7 billion. So this is between July 22 and July 23. They laundered $7 billion worth of illicit funds. Elliptic said the latest value of crypto assets laundered via decentralized exchanges, cross-chain bridges, and coin swap services dwarfs the $4 billion recorded a year earlier. So we went from $4 billion from July 21 to July 22, and now we're up to $7 billion. This is just going to go up. I think it'll spike. It'll spike a little bit during bull runs. That next year after the bull run, it'll maybe be low. Then it'll like go up for 3 years, a little bit of a cool down. Go up for 3 years, a little bit of a cool down. It's going to be similar to Bitcoin prices because you steal 1,000 ETH. It's going to be a lot different than if you stole 1,000 ETH in October 21 versus December 22. You need about twice as much. You'll need a lot more. You'll need 3 times as much ETH, right?
Yep.
More than that. At some point, ETH hit 950, and it was about 4,500. So we'll just round up, say 46. Yeah. So at certain points, yeah, it's 4x the amount. My old karate teacher, South Korean. Till this day, I speak. Okay. All right. Good.
Cool.
Pretty cool. I wish I knew it. All right. Ether Bitcoin ratio drops to 15-month lows. ETFs failed to uplift sentiment. We've talked about this. I've had Tim pull up the chart. It's just lower and lower. Let's zoom in on this one more time. It just looks like it's breaking down. Tim, I mean, we've looked at this. It looks like Bitcoin, ETH really likes to stop at 0.5. That is where 20 ETH equals 1 Bitcoin. So when ETH is 5% Bitcoin's value, you can have 20 of them. That's kind of my macro prediction. I think it will stop around 5%, though. But it looks like it's not turning around anytime soon.
Yeah, and it's losing its support level. This is something that I've been talking about for a minute with the falling wedge.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of bouncing on that blue line, we've lost it. Now, there's still some time to regain it. We did close below it on this daily candle, most recent yesterday's candle, but that's not a positive sign. That's not what you want to see. I still think over the bull market, we're going to see this go to the upside, but maybe this formation's broke. It might be worth redrawing here in a little bit, but I want to watch what happens there. Yeah, watch out. I think DZ, what you kind of said, we're already in the 0.5s, but we're at 5.7. I think to me, watching some lows that we had back here in July around 5.3 could be the next spot to watch for Ethereum over Bitcoin.
Yeah, it is not looking good for ETH, and it's not the only bad news for Ethereum. You know, we have this inflation narrative where ETH, hey guys, we've done these upgrades, and now it's actually deflationary. We are burning ETH. You know, you look at the thing, it's like this much ETH has been burned, and you're watching it grow every second. Wow, every second, more ETH, more ETH. Well, guys, last month was inflationary. It wasn't deflationary. Supply flipped inflationary last month, adding 30,000 ETH in 30 days. So September was not the month that we wanted. The 30,000 ETH is equivalent to $47 million at current prices. This increase is partly driven by lower network usage and fees stemming from the adoption of layer 2s. Oh, you know what? I didn't have my CoinGecko up, and we just totally skipped over prices, didn't we?
Yep, let's check them out.
Let's check them out, because then we can look at the gas as well. Sorry, folks. I'll make sure. That's the second time I've done it in like 10 days.
You're on thin ice, DZ.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. All right. Well, I'm waiting on CoinGecko here.
Nope.
Gotta verify.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Well, the markets are down slightly. It's down 0.4%. Looks like, you know, nothing's really moving up or moving down too hard here. Tezos is moving the most. Bitcoin SV moving the most after that. Then Clayton, Terra Luna Classic. All right, let's just go ahead and hit biggest losers, get DZ's coins out of the way.
Yep.
Okay. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it's 7 where I have some Polygon, 8, and then I have some Quant. So 9. All right. So not the worst
too
day
bad.
ever.
No.
Yeah, not too bad. And I don't even have that much Polygon. I got in too late. I didn't get in at a penny, y'all. I didn't get in at 2 cents. So the biggest loser of the day, Radix, followed by DYDX, then followed by Caspa. And now Caspa is down 11% for the week. Maybe like people are saying, hey, you know, you get in below a nickel now finally. But all right, back to what we were wanting to look at originally. Gas. Look at gas. Single digit gas. You see low gas fees, guys. We've been looking at low gas fees for a long time. And so it's no surprise that ETH is essentially inflationary now. So I expect that to turn around. I don't see gas fees being this low for that long. Yeah,
I think it's a good time to get in or out of, you know, those meme coins you've been trapped in.
You got that stupid meme coin dropped to $27. Go ahead, I mean, sure, it'll cost you $11. Get your $16 of ETH. You know, just go ahead.
Nice. Get yourself some Chipotle or something.
Or just keep it in ETH, because that Chipotle, you know, it's just going to run right through you. All right, let's talk about Ripple XRP. With XRP community fans, hit that like button. Where are we at likes? We hit 100, right?
182.
5 more, and then it's 187, which is what we're gonna do to the bears. All right, just the ones that are like attacking humans. You know?
Yeah.
All right,
of course.
The outdoors ones.
Also, screw the
Cocaine Bear
beavers.
movie.
And screw the beavers. Say what?
That Cocaine Bear movie really set up this next few years, I think, nicely.
Oh, is that a psyop? So
Yeah.
we'll be more inclined to have violent responses towards bears.
Yeah.
It's all, you know, Big Bear, or was it Big Pelt? I don't know who'd be behind that. Who would be behind that? It's
Big Pelt.
It's Big Pelt, but like, what's the competing pelt? Like lions, manes,
Bison.
you know, tiger. It's Big Pelt. All right. Can't beat $2 ERC20 transactions. You cannot. That's like buying a pizza with Bitcoin. Exactly. I feel the same way. But that being said, we're not vampires. We do have to spend our funds. So you got to spend some ETH to live your life. No one's going to get mad at you. Let's see. That's double the amount of Bitcoin that gets added every day. 900 at 20. So $24 million Bitcoin added every day. Little bit of a difference there, Carlson. Hey, Carlson, fan of the channel. Make sure you follow his. Click on his name there, by the way. Make sure you follow him. The Ethereum you're getting just by staking your 32, or you're part of a protocol. So you're not really doing anything and you get free money. Bitcoin, you're spending X dollars in electricity costs. So the 24 million added, is it 16 million in electricity? So it's only a net gain of 8, you know, so there's wrinkles to that conversation, but good point there. Good point. Thanks for breaking that down. All right, let's talk about Ripple here. Ripple CFO Christina Campbell exits the company. She left the company after about 2.5 years. She's now started working as the CFO at Maven Clinic, digital healthcare provider. So she's getting some of that big pharma money. We're grateful for her leadership over the past 2 years and her contributions to the company, as we've experienced strong global momentum, business growth, and navigated regulatory headwinds. Ripple remains in strong financial standing and is laser focused on its continued success in key markets around the world. I like how she puts in her notice after the party. Think that was coincidence? She wanted to go to the party, right?
What happened at the party?
Yeah, talk about the party.
Did she did the announcement at the party?
After what happened?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You got to come in. Yeah, you got to get your punch, get your Kool-Aid in. You know, mingle at the fruit punch bowl.
Make him sweat a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Elon Musk, XRP. What? Elon infects the XRP army with enthusiasm with his X post. What was the post? So let's see here. X looks so much like XRP. I don't think we're gonna have sound here, but we're just gonna play this. This is about 6 more seconds here. And then that got people all riled up.
Right
XRP
there.
community. Come on, Crypto Wolf. 70. All right. So we click on this. Actually, we got to be careful with the Elon tweets. Who knows what people are replying underneath there? 13,000 views. Okay. This one, well, it's been seen 50 million times. So, not the greatest percentage there, but some number of people are definitely going to be tweeting the XRP logo out there. I feel like Elon would be very anti XRP because he's got a competing service.
Mm.
X.
Yeah.
The X, he
Mhm.
wants to turn X into a payments platform. XRP is his direct competitor in many aspects, especially if he does want to do remittance payments and stuff like that. So I think he's going to be going against them. And, I think he'd rather champion Doge over XRP. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm not expecting any positive posts from Elon about XRP anytime soon here. Let's see. Talking about Avalanche. All right, that movie was sick. A lot of people like that movie. It was a funny meme. I remember the meme. I effing love that white powder. There's that one famous picture of the bear. Let's see. Even if it goes back to 35 cents, Matic at 55 cents is great. Yeah, honestly, a 510x is probably pretty good, folks. I easily see it doing a 5x. Maybe not easy. I can see it doing a 5x. I feel a lot of people are going to be chasing 100x's and missing out on the 5 and the 10x's. So we might have to make a video on that. Just say 5x's, 10x's are also still pretty good. We don't have to chase every 100x and then end up, choosing the wrong ones. Maybe one got lucky and then, sold it too soon. So you just got to be careful out there, folks. All right, now it is time for the X minute. Where are we at on time? We're doing good.
Yeah, 11:39. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, not too bad. Elon does like pumping the meme coins. He certainly does. I have one post, nothing crazy here. Congress profiting off the recent conflict. So this blew up on Instagram, didn't it, Tim?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
I reposted it here. Other people haven't seen it there. All right. So what do we got first? We got Nick Demondi, top profitable GPU mining coins this morning on a 3080. And so all the mining heads out there, Nick's putting out pretty regular tweets. So check out his tweet. Only 3 likes. Come on, more people like it than that. This was a cool fact. Kind of cool to know. A lot of celebrity Wikipedia pages have photos of them at Comic-Con because there's one guy who photographs them all. Has something to do with copyright issues. Since most photos of celebrities already have copyrights in place, there's one photographer, this guy named Gage Skidmore, and he just goes to Comic-Con every year and takes photos of celebrities and posts it on Wikipedia. And then you look and you're like, yeah, that's definitely Comic-Con right there. That's definitely Comic-Con right there. So I just thought that was a fun fact that Wikipedia people, man, some of them are nuts. Remind me of like Bitcoin white paper devs, or like just people are like so core about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They don't care. They just they'll spend hours upon hours of their life just working on something just to make it better for humanity. So shout out to Gage. Gage, you're doing a lot of good work.
Sorry about your last name.
Skidmore, not great. He's responsible for 93,000 photos.
Wow.
In Wikimedia Commons. So good job, bro. Good job. All right. Here, I think this is a lot. All right, we got 2. One, all right, so this one is just kind of going over the BitVM. If you want to read the BitVM white paper, it was just published, so check that out. Hit my X, and then you'll see it there under likes. Just go down 4. And then we have a mutant here, Arctic Alpha. Something massive is coming. This is a chart of treasury yields over the last 30 years. It's calculated by subtracting the 2-year from the 10-year. We don't want to be in the negative. Typically, longer-term debt pays more interest because there's more risk. When the economy is sick, shorter-term yields pay more and cause the yield curve to invert and go below the red line. Every time the yield curve uninverts, there's been an economic crisis, and it's compounded by the fact the curve has never been more inverted. It has never looked this bad ever. So this was the dot-com crash. This was the great financial crisis. Here we had the COVID crash. And now we're way, way below. That's just the 90s recession there. I expect a substantial market event in the next year or so. It's likely that crypto will sell off as liquidity is drained from the broader markets, but will explode soon as Fed takes easing action to remedy the crisis. Also interesting that this aligns with the Bitcoin halving cycle timeline, where we're looking for a new high in the second half of 2025. It's all coming together, folks.
It's
all
almost like there's a cycle that
Yep.
Bitcoin plays out.
Nick reminds me of Austin Powers without the swag. He's still cool though. He's like Seinfeld type of humor. So he's saying he's Austin Powers when they take his mojo. Like when they like extract the mojo from him, it's like in the little tube.
Oh, that was a hard scene to
That
watch.
was messed up. X keeps shadow banning me. I can't stay away long enough to let it cool down. I feel like I'm shadow banned right now. I end up having to block and mute a few people for obvious reasons about a month ago. I'm pretty sure that punished me because it was like a night and day switch. I went from like I had like a nice Biden tweet thing that like 500,000 views, and now guys, I have been. I'll just be completely honest with you. I feel like I'm putting out bangers, but like this was a great thread. Nothing. Crickets on it. So I don't know. Come on, Elon, help me out. Help out. All right, Nick Powers, for real. Okay, cycle, you say? Yes, not that kind of cycle. Come on. There's other companies called SpaceX, so that might be the link. Or the Boring Company. Could be the Boring. Sounds like someone watched Cohen's ETH capitulation videos. I have not, but probably one of the article people did for sure. Maybe he's the guy they're talking about. I think Elon switched to remind him of what he took while he was dating Amber Heard. Okay, all right. Sometimes I just start the comment. I don't know where it's going to head.
Yeah,
take me down a left.
How do we
turn.
always
Reading
end
ahead of
up
time is a
on
valuable
this?
skill.
Drew, you have a awesome video. I saw a little bit of it. What is the details on that? When is it premiering? What is it premiering on, guys? It's over Bitcoin. It is really good video.
Yeah, so I'm releasing kind of the origin story of Bitcoin, which ranges 50 years back from today. And then I'll be going into what I see is going to happen to Bitcoin and the world economy over the next 10 years. I'm making calls that many people are afraid to, and I have been a macroeconomic war watcher for a decade and a half, so it's nothing new to me. So I'm not new to this, and I'm not jumping into it just because things are getting bad now. Telling people what I see coming because I've been right so far, and I hope you catch it. It's coming out tomorrow or tonight. I think one of them's coming out tonight at 6, and then another one, I think, on Wednesday. So
okay,
yep,
which is today.
Yep.
No.
No. Oh, dang
Today
it.
is
All right.
a Tuesday.
All right. Well, yeah, the fiance's parents are coming. I thought it was today. It's tomorrow. All right. That's all we got. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. We got a lot of stuff coming out, and basement imminently. We'll see y'all there. Until next time. Easy out.